What's up, guys? It's Lord Botha here with another video, and they did it, guys. They actually did it. I don't know how they did it, but Todd Howard and Bethesda, they got a massive W because they did their release trailer. It was more like an expo thing, and it all centered around, it was all about the Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion Remaster. They showed us cinematics, they showed us behind the scenes stuff, they did interviews with people explaining how they really wanted to remake the game from the ground up and really just make everything better while still wanting to keep faithful to the old feeling of the game and the old aesthetic of the game. And they even showed us gameplay with an actual gameplay stream after the main expo. And in that expo, I won't edge you on this, they did announce that the game was dropping today. It's out right now, which, pretty much everybody assumed it was going to be out right now because all the leaks had happened. And we call them leaks, but they're more like leaks. Because I'm pretty sure that Bethesda, they wanted all that stuff to get out. It was always their plan as a strategy probably to build up hype for this game. And it worked. People were really hyped for it. And yes, they did the smart thing of not trying to push this even further and released it today. And I gotta say, dude, it looks phenomenal. The leaked screenshots did not do it justice. It looks a lot better than that even. And I thought, personally, those look pretty good. Here's a little bit of video to show you what that's like. Now, warning, if you are an Elder Scrolls fan, and especially if you were hyped for this, and this is your first time that you're gonna see some of this footage, you might want to go get some wet wipes, because you're probably going to be messy afterwards.
Die! Here you must find your own path. Remember the Emperor! Find him and close shut the jaws of Oblivion.
So because I know we can't get it all just from that trailer, here are a few details about what is actually in the game. This is courtesy of Synth Potato over on X, who states that Oblivion Remaster is quite literally a remake. Gameplay touched up, new leveling system that's between Skyrim and Oblivion, new voices added and new lines recorded, which is good seeing that one guy did like 50% of all the voices for this game. All OG hilarious lines are back. Yes, they kept a lot of the funny sort of awkward lines that were in the game as well. Fully remade visuals from the ground up, yeah, as you saw, looks a lot more modern. All animations are remade. Combat has been remade with new dodge button. You can now sprint. Unreal Engine 5 visuals. All DLCs are included. So yeah, absolutely massive upgrade for this game. And it really is more like a remake than a remaster. But yes, it looks phenomenal. And like I said, it's out right now. Not only is it out right now, it's out on pretty much every platform that isn't a Nintendo. PlayStation, Xbox, PC through Steam. And if you're wondering, oh, what's the price? Well, it's actually only $50 US. And for any of you being like, oh, $50 for a remaster? I'm not so sure about that. I mean, you clearly didn't see the footage that I saw there. Because this wasn't just a remaster. This was a complete from the ground up through every single detail, almost remake of the game on Unreal Engine 5, which some people might be like, Unreal Engine 5 at this point? But comparing it to Bethesda's engine, which even the most updated version is still old, Unreal Engine 5 it's a massive upgrade. For the amount of work that they put into this thing, I feel like $50 is a fair asking price, especially when you consider people like Nintendo are trying to push $80, $90 Mario Kart World. But not only is it only $50, it also is free on Game Pass right now. You can pick it up for free on Xbox Game Pass if you have Game Pass, which again, I think is the best bang for your buck in terms of subscription service and the amount of games, good games that you have access to. And another thing, the upgrade for the deluxe edition of this game is only $10, at least from what I saw on Xbox. And I did buy this thing through my Xbox. So really, you're looking at a $60 almost complete remake of a nearly 20-year-old game. That's pretty good. Now, of course, immediately people were wondering, is this going to be a success though? And my guess is, yeah, it's going to be a success. Because look at these Steam numbers. Over 54,000 players in just the hour it's been released. It's 11:30 a.m. on a Tuesday Central Time here in the US. So yeah, I think this thing's going to be a success. Because all those Steam numbers, those are Steam sales. It's not free Game Pass that's happening on Xbox, which I'm sure the player count over there is way more massive than even this. Now, of course, this doesn't mean that it's been universally loved. There's already detractors coming out. And weirdly enough, it's from the anti-woke side of things, who have become almost as bad as the pro-wokeness in gaming side of things. You have Drama Alert here saying that Oblivion Remaster is getting backlash for being woke in the reveal trailer. I don't know what they're talking about. There was nothing woke in the trailer. If you're trying to say that this woman here, because of the way she looks, is woke, then I guess that's not exactly what woke is. Also, one thing I have noticed online is a lot of people are saying that this game is woke because they have body type A and B instead of male and female choices for your character creator. And I just want to say to those people, if you think a game is woke just because of that reason, and it is an inherent barrier to you picking up this amazing looking remaster of a game, if that one thing alone, the body type A and B stuff, is a bridge too far for you, and that only, you are a person that cares way too much about politics and gaming. Your first love is quite clearly politics. It's not gaming. You are at best a normie, casual gamer. And if you want to deprive yourself of something that looks amazing and probably is an amazing experience in terms of an entertainment value, go right ahead. That's your choice as a customer. In fact, I'll make a recommendation for you. Go play Lords of the Fallen, who just released their 2.0 version, which is almost a completely different game with the amount of upgrades and updates they made to it. And from what I've heard and the little bit I've seen of it, seems like it's really good, and you can enjoy a Souls-like game from a company that likes to virtue signal to the anti-woke side of the political scheme in gaming. As for the other things that are probably going to come about because of this game and the success it's most likely going to have now, I would expect to get a lot more of these massive remasters from Bethesda, especially given that Bethesda wasn't really the main guys making this. Different company. Bethesda had a, overarching hand, but it was really other guys that were making this. But yeah, I would expect massive remasters of things like Fallout 3, Morrowind, probably not New Vegas just because Todd Howard hates that game. And eventually, yes, expect an expansive remaster of Skyrim. That might be 1, maybe even 2 decades from now, but it's gonna happen. And it's gonna happen because, well, it's probably easier for them to do this kind of thing, remake an existing game a little bit from the ground up, there's still a bit of a baseboard, and introduce a whole new generation of players to those old games. Because let's be honest, Gen Z, Gen Alpha, they're not going to go back and play ancient Oblivion from 2006. They will, however, maybe pick up this updated version that looks a lot better and has a lot more upgrades and updates to it, and get re-interested in buying Bethesda products, which after the disaster that was Starfield, Bethesda needs to do because they've lost old fans and they're not really making an impression on the new generation of gamers. This could be their inroad for that. Second thing that has come out of this, Todd Howard and Bethesda, they bought themselves a lot of time for Elder Scrolls 6 because everybody's been like, for years, When's Elder Scrolls 6 going to happen? When's Elder Scrolls 6 going to happen? And they've been trying to push it off and give non-answers for so long. Well, now with this, they've definitely bought time. People are going to be entertained by this for a very long time. And especially if they do another remaster like this for a different game, it's going to probably buy them even more time. Finally, and this is less of a Bethesda thing and more of an Xbox thing, the price point that Xbox has put on this thing and letting it be able to be sold on other platforms while keeping it free on Game Pass for themselves is great business in the long run because it further sells Xbox as the pro-consumer company in this day and age. Because while Nintendo and PlayStation are hiking up their prices and nickel and diming you for, breathing in front of their console, Xbox Game Pass and their affordable pricing for games, even through their discounts, looks to be the most cost-effective option for gamers, which hopefully also increases competitiveness eventually, and maybe, just maybe one day, those prices can come down a bit. Though, I'm probably coping on that, just as all of us are coping that maybe one day video game prices will actually come back down again. But yeah, this game looks amazing. Already got it downloaded right now. Gonna go play it after this. I'm pretty stoked. I think you guys should be pretty stoked. And there are only a few people I feel bad for, which is the Oblivion mod guys, which some people think, hey, maybe Oblivion will actually get hyped in a bit of a bump because of this, and people will want to compare the two. I don't think that's it at all. I think Oblivion, while it will be probably bigger than this in terms of overall size and landscape of the map and what you can do and etc., I think it will look outdated in comparison and maybe even a little bit bloated. And I'm not sure people will gravitate to it over something like this remaster. It is nice that apparently Bethesda hasn't gone after them yet and looks to be okay with both things existing in the space. So good on you, Bethesda, for not being Activision. The other people I feel bad for is CI Games, who did Lords of the Fallen, that just put their 2.0 out, like I said earlier in this video, because they're probably going to lose players to this. And they really did look like they worked hard on updating that game. And I also feel bad for Sandfall Interactive, who did Clair Obscur Expedition 33, because that game comes out in like a couple days. And yeah, it's not going to do as well as it could have in terms of player count numbers because of this Oblivion Remaster. But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how this thing reshapes how we think of remasters going forward, how many remasters we might get, and gamers' perception of remasters, as well as their ability to affect the overall market in terms of game sales versus newer games that are just coming on the market. But those are just my thoughts on all this. If you have your own thoughts, go and leave them in the comments. If you liked this video, go and like, share, and subscribe. If you didn't like this video, I appreciate you watching all of it. We'll talk to you again later.